Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, and salutations for all the Akim who are pushing this truth with sincerity. All right, so the Spirit has me in John chapter 1, verse 19. It says, "And this is the record of John, when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, 'Who art thou?' And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, 'I am not the Hamashiach.'" All right. So basically what it is because he was baptizing people at the time, they were thinking, they knew he was a prophet, and they were some of them were thinking that he was the Messiah, because of the work he was doing. So he let him know that he was not the Messiah, But let me just go to this precept real quick. Because in the same fashion that they approach John, they approach Yahushai, right? Because, for the most part, these Jews and these Levites that approached John, they're actually 2/3, because they were stumbling at the truth. They were actually, they were like a group of IUIC members coming to the camp, which, they're keeping the laws, but they weren't, they stumbled at the truth. Just like IUIC, they're Israel United in Christ, which is, it's blasphemy, right? Because his name is not Christ. So, it's the same fashion. They, just like people come up to us on our corners when we're at camp, on the street corners, and they say, "Who are you guys? What are you guys doing out here? What's your purpose for being out here?" So in the same fashion that they want to seek out and find out who the men of the Lord are, because they see the works, right? So we're going to go to John 10 and 24, because they did the same thing to Yahushai, basically just nosy. They may not have a desire to know the truth, but they just want to know what's going on, these heathen and these 2/3. So John 10 and 24, it says, "Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be Yahushai, tell us plainly. Yahushai answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Okay? So Yahushai's sheep are the men of the Lord who are teaching this truth, with sincerity. You go out on the street corners and you are literally, putting your life at risk, putting your freedom at risk, because everybody's been indoctrinated with false doctrines, right? With strange women, like we talked about at camp this past week. Strange women is dealing with strange doctrines. When people hear this truth that we're delivering, it's uneasy with them because they've been taught so many lies. So Yahushai says, "You believe me not because you're not of my sheep." But his sheep are the ones who come to the camp and listen to the word, and they're more willing to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. They're not going to be. So he basically, Yahushua is saying, his sheep hear his word, and they hear his voice and they follow. So no, that's a characteristic of the men of the truth, men of the Lord. We hear this truth and we be converted, it's easy for us to leave our strange women or our false doctrines, because we believe the truth, because that's what we've never been taught the truth like this. And so, this makes sense to us more than any other doctrine that was exposed to us in the past. But I'll read it again in verse 26, John 10:26. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. Right? My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. So Yahushai's true sheep are the ones who are pushing this truth, naming the beast, meaning revealing who Esau, Edom is. He's the devil. And that's what we're revealing on the streets. We're revealing the prophecies, the microchip, the mark of the beast. We're revealing the missiles are spoken of in the Bible. These are the true prophecies. These are the this is the truth. Unlike the grape juicers, the Christians, and who are just dealing with only the sweet part of the Bible and not the bitter. So they're out of balance, right? And that's actually abomination to Yahweh. All right, so it says, we'll go back to John 1:20. Let's see. And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Hamashiach, meaning the Messiah. And they asked him, what then? Art thou Elias? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no. Okay. So they asked him if they asked John the Baptist if he was Elijah or Elias, the Greek way of saying Elijah. And he told them no. And the reason was because he actually was Elijah the prophet. Yahushai revealed that in the scriptures. So I'm going to go to the reason why he told them no, that he was not the Messiah. Or I'm sorry, not Elijah or Elias. And it's it's going to be in let me see, Ecclesiastes 1:11. Because the reason why they asked him in the first place is because they knew and they understood regeneration, reincarnation. Okay, those Levites and those Jews, they understood that our souls come back every 4 to 5 generations. Not like these Christians nowadays, they don't believe in regeneration, But let me read the reason why John did not remember, John answered no, that he was not Elijah. It says there in Ecclesiastes 1:11, there is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are to come with those that shall come after. All right, and this is dealing with everything, but in this case, we're talking about reincarnation, regeneration. So, that's why he answered no when they asked him if he was Elijah, is because right here in Ecclesiastes 1:11, it tells you there is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are to come with those that shall come after. So you're not going to remember your past life or who you were, It's written down in the scriptures telling us, we're not going to know those things, And so when they asked him, it was a stumbling block on him. So we'll go back to John 1:20. And we'll actually start at 21. It says, And they asked him, What then? Art thou Elias? And he saith, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, No. Okay, so now I want to go to Matthew. We'll go to 11. We'll go to 14. Actually, we'll go to 10. And this is actually Yahawashi talking and speaking on this same account. Okay. Let me see. So we're going to start at 10. It says Matthew 11 and 10. It says, For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. So he's speaking of John the Baptist, okay? Because John was, before Yahawashi in that generation, okay? So it says, Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. All right? So he talks about how great John the Baptist, is born of women, right? But he says, hey, but according to the kingdom, John the Baptist, the least person in the kingdom is greater than John the Baptist. Showing you the differences between the kingdom and earth now as it is, as we know it. The least in the kingdom is greater than even John the Baptist. And then verse 12, And from the days of John the Baptist until now the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So the kingdom of heaven is dealing with the Israelites, because the Israelites are under the curses right now, so we suffer the violence, We get shot down in the streets. In the 1400s, we were brought into slavery, 1600s, 1500s, we were brought on slave ships to the Americas, Babylon. Also the so-called Native Americans, who are the Gadites and the Reubenites, according to the scripture, they were, a victim of an attempted genocide by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. So verse 13. So that's why, again, we suffer the violence. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, right? Because the kingdom of heaven belongs to who? The Israelites. So that's what it's speaking about. And the violent take it by force. So the violent is the so-called white man. He's taken, like I said, he took the Israelites on ships as slaves. And then when he got here, the so-called white man, basically destroyed or tried to destroy the Gadites and the Reubenites who were already here. And verse 13, For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. All right? Because John was preparing the way for Yahawashi. In the same fashion, the men of the Lord who are out again, right? Because the scriptures say the prophets are subject to the prophets. So John prepared the way for Yahawashi, during Yahawashi's time, and now the prophets are preparing the way for Yahawashi in these last days. Right, we're telling you about the, we're teaching the new wine, the truth, the way it hasn't been taught in America until now. You were never taught that the so-called white man is the devil. You were never taught that the so-called black man, so-called Native American, and so-called Hispanic man are the Israelites. You were never taught about the missiles. You were never taught about the